for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap-ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own, tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues. Guess if you ain't at the table, you on the menu, and I'm that spitter, baby. They don't want you to see, but everybody's south of Capitol Hill's rocking with me. Boys smoke the trays and ponder getting their life together. I'm comfortable with my role, so I'm like, whatever. I ain't got a job, but I work hard. And you don't work hard, but you got a job. The irony is I'm judged while you feel the applause. I'm slept on, that's why I had to set this alarm. My dudes is armed, I'm armed with this arm charm. Body banging like she got that cream from Barry Bonds. Yeah.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
That Dre season is here, a real hitter with a mic, I'm everything that they fear. With that hood ain't the same, I was all on their ass, I'm level-headed. So yo, my dudes love when I spaz, and I'm so over Seattle's passive-aggressive attitude. They don't call you back, what they really saying is F you. While I'm from the same place, I move at a different pace. I prefer if you just said it to my face, damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Average dudes with they average spit, writing average rhymes, knocking average chicks. The closer I get, I can feel the people starting to shift. I'm loyal to a fault, and everybody can't come with. Rap's a rich man's game, I'm only playing with change. They bang models and singers, I'm knocking my own flame, I'm different. The crowd, I move with the chosen few. Black thoughts, I could be the front man for the roots. No diamonds and gold, I'm on my sticks and stones. If we can see your panty line, you should have on a thong. My team is strong, through this fire we forged a bond. And they already know what it is when I get on. To the hearse, party like it's December 31st. When I'm on my deathbed, I'll probably crack in my nurse. You ain't got the bars to compete, I'm a verbal athlete. Deflating these boys so they say that I cheat. Damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Yeah. I should probably start by apologizing for the long wait, man. You know, I know I be tripping. But I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. And, you know, my creative process is a little bit different than most. Nonetheless, I want to welcome everybody out to the Dre's Experience. I got TCF in the building, my whole camp's here with me. I got the band in here laying this cool-ass vibe. And I'm Seattle's own. Let's get into it.
I just wanna live. God protect me. I just wanna live. I just wanna live.
Hi, everybody out there, Grand Rising, and good morning to all of you lovely people. It is officially Juneteenth Eve, and welcome to the Morning Update Show. I'm your co-host, Trey Holiday. I am so excited for all the things happening starting today, and y'all know I got to get that excitement in with my guy, Big O. What up, Big O? Happy Friday.
Trey Holiday.
Hey.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yes, my friend. Made it.
Man, it's been a long week. I mean, too long.
Oh, we're here.
Definitely looking forward to this weekend for sure. Want to take this time right now to welcome everybody to the Morning Update Show and remind you, this is the perfect opportunity for you to tag and share the stream. Go ahead and tag and share the stream with people who you feel would appreciate culturally relevant news and information emanating from right here in the Emerald City. Want to take this opportunity to give a big shout out to our partners over at the South Seattle Emerald and also KBCS 91.3 over at Bellevue College. Also want to remind everybody that you can now listen to the Morning Update Show anywhere that you find your favorite podcast. That's SoundCloud right there. We'll put the link in the comments, but also on Apple, iTunes, Google, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can listen to the Morning Update Show. Big shout out to all the people around the world now who are actually listening to the Morning Update Show. Great show lined up today. We got Doc Wilson from Peloton. Peace Peloton has an event coming up around Juneteenth, like so many Juneteenth events that are happening. And also Katoya Palmer from the East Madison YMCA. Katoya will be joining us, telling us what the YMCA has been up to.
Awesome, man. Now, COVID restrictions are lifting. People are getting back to work. There's a lot more happening in terms of our organizations that have been such staples. So it's great to be able to catch up with Doc and with Katoya.
Yep, few headlines today. Some breaking news coming out of City Hall right now. It looks like they're going to extend the housing moratorium to September 30th. Looks like Mayor Durkin is on the record now confirming that housing moratorium will be extended here in the city of Seattle in the municipality until September 30th. That's all the info I have on it right now. We'll follow that back up on Monday. What do we got here? Oh, well, of course we have our Pride shirts. I think we got a nice motion. Oh, look, there's Trey Holiday. Trey Holiday, Oya D'Alessandro, and Omi right there. Converge Pride shirts available in black, white, and pink. Why don't you go to whereweconverge.com/shop and, man, support independent black media while sporting your pride at the same time.
Absolutely. And not to mention some of those proceeds going to Spokane. So that's also another great reason to support these amazing Pride shirts. They also look fabulous.
Yeah, no doubt. We talked about this yesterday. We're going to put this overlay back up here right now. Julia Jesse, the queen of clapback. If you haven't checked this out on our blog, you can go to whereweconverge.com/blog. And, man, great write-up there on Julia Jesse and her journey here into Converge and what she's doing out there in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's really an example of how we're taking Converge across the nation, literally all the way in D.C. Julia Jesse here every Thursday at 7 p.m. with Clapback Culture and Mike Davis. So great work for Julia.
Definitely. All right, so yesterday was the big news. Today, if you're a federal employee, lots of federal employees are at home because today they're celebrating Juneteenth. We got a clip right here from ABC Good Morning America, President Biden signing Juneteenth into a national federal holiday.
To a landmark moment here in the U.S. now. Federal workers have the day off this morning after President Biden signed a bill making Juneteenth a national holiday. June 19th, 1865. That was the day that the last enslaved Africans got word that they were in fact free. They got that word in Galveston, Texas. Our Steve Osensami joins us with more on this milestone. Steve, good morning to you.
Happy Juneteenth to you, TJ. This morning, we're celebrating, of course, this national holiday. The holiday is actually tomorrow, but the federal government is already set to recognize it today for most federal workers. The last time a president signed a holiday to the law was President Reagan signing the King holiday. President Biden made Juneteenth a federal holiday with his signature. Now, all of a sudden, a holiday that was once only celebrated by black families in black churches is now a holiday for all. The vice president held the hand of the 94-year-old woman who helped make this happen. Miss Opal Lee from Fort Worth, Texas, marched the streets for years to make Juneteenth a holiday. As you said, TJ, Juneteenth doesn't just celebrate the freedom of American slaves. It marks the day the government freed the last remaining slaves in Texas years after they had already been free. It's no accident that this is coming after the conversations over race in this country in the summer of protests. And even so, there is some concern that this is more symbolism than substance. Many critics say that some of the lawmakers who supported this holiday are also fighting against legislation that would improve conditions for the very people this holiday celebrates.
Wow. I'm sorry, I wasn't wrapped there because I've been hearing so much about this as well. I think, again, there's a time to celebrate and there's a time to continue to push for the elevation of material conditions of black people in this country. And, as that story just ended there, indicating that as we do this as a federally recognized holiday and, it passed with no issues, nobody was like, hey, no. I mean, at the end of the day, we still have a lot of work to do to elevate material conditions for black people, and we can't forget about that. So I think that a lot of the events that we'll see this weekend, starting today and throughout the weekend, really are about that celebration, but also about the elevation of the issues and how people can bring themselves into it, how we need to really be transforming our ideologies that allowed for that idea of the enslaved staying there for years after they were already free, and this happening in 1865. So I think that there is a lot for us to pull back some layers here and learn from, but also a moment to celebrate this.
Yeah, and I think there's a few things here. Is one that the protest of last year definitely was also a key driver. I mean, and this is where activism meets advocates. This is where the streets meets the lifetime work of Opal Lee and her work there in Fort Worth, and we see this as a holiday this past. The second thing is these politicians are very smart in the sense that this is for them. It isn't like this is an appropriations bill. It isn't like there's money to it and everything else. It's a paid federal holiday for federal workers and everything else. But they're able to be in their district or in their state and say, no, we love the black people. It passed the Senate, unanimous consent, only 14 votes against it. And what the story Steve Osunsami said right there was that a lot of these same senators and congressmen and women who voted for Juneteenth are also the people that are supportive of legislation that's suppressing the vote. And so that's what I'm saying. It's a good PR move for them. No, man, we love black people. We voted for Juneteenth. What are you talking about? But at the same time, with the other hand, actively looking to suppress the vote. So, I think that, of course, it's historic. It's a landmark. Apparently, when you read right there, the last two federal holidays in America have been in recognition of it's Dr. King and now in Juneteenth. But people should keep both eyes open and actually see what's going on the ground.
Yeah, and I think too that we've already kind of come some long ways, because I think that back in the days, what a news story like that may indicate and highlight more so than anything is the passing of Juneteenth, all of that, without really stating the other facts, right, of how those same senators are going against, voters and the freedom of voters to be able to participate in the voting process. And yet here we are, seeing one of our national news affiliates saying, hey, even while all this is happening, this voter suppression work is still happening. And so I find that to be a step in the right direction as well, because I remember growing up, there wasn't enough truth in terms of the meat on the bones of some of these stories. So even us being able to talk about that, have that be out in the open, so that all of the people that are living in those states, it's time for y'all to step up. You guys need to be organizing so that you can move all of the momentum from your collective voice into advocacy and into policy change and legislation change. You can't allow those senators to continue to keep their seats if what they're really doing is trying to suppress your vote behind the scenes. So yeah, absolutely. I think that there's so much work that needs to be done, man.
These guys in DC are smart. Like I said, they know what they're doing. But anyway, it's Feel Good Friday, so we'll continue moving right here. There was a story. Britt Moore, your girl Britt Moore, was out there in Skyway and talked about a new tiny home village that's opening up there.
What was a vacant lot owned by a church here in Skyway has been transformed into a safe haven for those experiencing homelessness. A tiny home village creating a path to permanent housing.
So they get a bed, a welcome basket, clothing rack.
33 tiny homes will make up the newly built progressive Skyway Village.
The need for homes by the homeless community is not just inside city limits. And this is our kitchen.
This is the first King County funded tiny house village outside of Seattle. A vision dreamt up by Pastor Curtis Taylor of Seattle Word of God Church, who knew this vacant land could be put to better use.
Now, since our church is here, we needed to do what needed to be done.
Pastor Taylor reached out to the Low Income Housing Institute to make it happen.
The Bible teaches us that we need to make sure we help the homeless, help the sick, the prison bound, and we're just trying to fulfill the scriptures the best that we can.
This village will cater to the Skyway community, an area of unincorporated King County often forgotten about.
Where it's been ignored, been left out, and I think they're trying to make amends and trying to do what has not been done.
A community coming together to find solutions, although this one temporary. On-site case managers will work with each client to help them find permanent housing.
Everybody deserves housing. Housing is a human right, and we want to do that in the most dignified way.
Britt Moore, King 5 News.
Well, there it is right there. I mean, you know what? Shout out to everybody who really poured into this effort. I think it's so important. We've talked about the stark reality of homelessness right here in Washington State, particularly Seattle and King County. And although Skyway is unincorporated King County, it is important that we have more and more of these kind of opportunities and options to really move people from being unhoused to being sheltered permanently. And although this is a temporary situation, it again is moving in the direction that is necessary to begin to close those disparity gaps around homelessness. Oh, it's real.
Yeah, I mean, a big shout out to the church as well, recognizing that they have the space and then partnering. I mean, this is where you see these different partnerships come together with King County and then, of course, Lehigh. I think Lehigh right now is probably one of the only organizations that's building the tiny homes. But, man, it's good to see there. You know, Skyway is often overlooked and forgotten because it's unincorporated. But especially us, who was that? That was Rod Long. Rod Long said, I used to live in Skyway, the Beverly Hills of Seattle,
right.
overlooking the Rainier Valley. You know, so good stuff there. Then also, you know, I mean, Kelly Clarkson, on the Kelly Clarkson show, Kelly Clarkson's picking up a lot of Seattleites on the show. You know, Sean Good was on the Kelly Clarkson show a few weeks back. And Tina Hendricks, a fellow Bulldog, niece of Jimi Hendrix. And full disclosure here, I went to a prom with Tina Hendricks many moons ago. But Tina Hendricks was here on the Kelly Clarkson show talking about the Hendrix Music Academy.
Well, it's been more than 50 years since music legend Jimi Hendrix died. To this day, he's remembered as one of the most creative and influential musicians of our time. Now his niece is determined to continue his legacy. She launched a music academy in Seattle that not only gives free music lessons and instruments to hundreds of underserved kids, the program also provides life lessons and resources. Let's welcome the founder of the Hendrix Music Academy, Tina Hendricks, everybody! First of all, you look so rock and roll. Like, if somebody were like, what does Jimi Hendrix's niece look like? This is what I'd picture. Like,
oh my gosh, thank you so much.
So, Tina, what made you decide to launch a music academy in his honor?
Well, you know, I live in Seattle where Jimmy and my dad grew up. And, you know, there's a lot of problems for kids there. There's a lot of poverty and homelessness and stuff. And they kind of grew up in that too. So I'd be just riding down the street on my way home and I'd see kids like hanging out on the streets. And I'm like, look at those poor kids. They need something to do. They're just out there with nothing. They're going to get in trouble. And I just kept passing those kids every day. And after a while, I was like, somebody should do something about this. You know, somebody should do something for these kids. Then it was like, wait a minute, I can do something. I can invite them over to my studio, give them some music lessons, and just get them off the streets.
Yeah.
So basically, just invited a group of kids over that were hanging out on the streets, brought them to the studio. I mean, their eyes lit up. It was like a whole nother world to them. They started writing music, recording. And then they started bringing their friends. It got really big. So I got my friends' help. I said, look, guys, this is getting big. I got so many kids here. I need help. So my friends and some Jimmy fans said, you know, we should organize this into a charity. And so I said, yeah. So we organized it into a charity to make sure we could keep helping kids and keep expanding our program. So yeah, that's pretty much how it started.
What a beautiful way to start it, though. Like, I think we do that a lot. We're like, oh man, somebody should do something about that. And it's like, well, I could be that somebody to do that. And then how it started so organically is such a small group, and then it's become this big thing that's really making a huge impact in the community. That's a beautiful thing.
A beautiful thing indeed, man. Shout out to you, Tina Hendricks, and everybody that is working toward the Hendricks Music Academy. I mean, we've had Tina on here before, and honestly, it is a beautiful thing for, you know, national outlets to be able to spotlight some of the great work that's happening. That's a Feel Good Friday story indeed, Big O.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, but before we go into break, and we're going to come back here with Doc, it's been a minute since we've both been here on a Friday, and it's a good opportunity to throw out like what we're grateful for.
You know, that you're so right, man. On this Feel Good Friday, I just got to say I'm grateful for everybody out there who is making their voices heard, regardless of what you believe, how you feel. The fact of the matter is that we're seeing a lot of change being transformational for this country because of your voices. And as we embark upon, you know, this kind of year celebration of Juneteenth for me, myself, as we coordinated a major event last year, and we're looking to do the same this year, amazing event happening. We'll be getting into that later in the show. But I just got to say that ultimately for me, I'm very grateful because we have come some ways because of everybody pouring in. It needs to be more than just the advocates on the street or nonprofits or, you know, activists. When we all do it, when we all start to change the conversation we're having with our friends, with our family, our neighbors, that's when we start to break down these ideologies and realize that it takes all of us to make this transformative change that's going to be sustainable. So I'm grateful for that, Big O, man. What are you grateful for?
Man, you know, I'll be honest with you. I'm grateful, beyond grateful, for Jake Gravbrot. It was a year ago where Jake joined the Converge media team, and at the time I had no idea because it was we needed security, and they hired Jake. Bobby Stills found Jake, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is a security guy. I had no idea that Jake was a photographer who'd not only been photographing the protests, but had been, you know, on his craft for years, you know, taking a photo a day for years. And, you know, as things progressed in the CHOP, I was like, who took these pictures? This is Jake's pictures. And it would be crazy because we'd be out there and, you know, Jake's standing right next to me on one side and snapping pictures with another. And what Jake Gravbrot has brought to this company in the last 12 months is incredible. He's definitely our lead storyteller here. And when Jake arrived here at Converge, he was like photo. And people will see that some of the most amazing work that we've put out on video, that's Jake Gravbrot, the Vanish in Seattle films, Jake Gravbrot, the commitment, when the story we did on Alaska Airlines and the UNCF plane. And I mean, the level of commitment that Jake has brought here to Converge, and even his new show, GTF Outside, where he's traveling all over America and visiting national parks and showing people other things. I'm grateful for Jake and what he's done here at Converge. And it's a lot of people, we were blessed during COVID. A lot of people came into Converge. They were out of jobs and everything else, and they brought their talents to Converge. And a lot of people, they've joined the workforce, but they've never left us. You know, Nikki Barron has joined the workforce. You know, Bobby's joined the workforce. Jordan has joined the workforce. So it's a lot of people, guys have been watching for a long time. They're like, oh, we don't see this person, that person. They've never left us as Converge. They're just back into the workforce. Jake Gravbrot, and it's been times where I've been trying to get rid of him in a good way. I'm like, hey, man, there's this job over here. It's crazy. They're looking for a photographer and everything else. And Jake would be like, man, I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I'll just say this, too, is that there was a lot of dangerous nights and times while we covered the Seattle protests. And, man, you know, this guy was right here by my side the whole time, to the point that even after, you know, a lot of the protest, especially the violent protests and everything else ended, it was a few months before I go anywhere without Jake, you know, because of his calming presence and everything else. And so the reason why we called you in the studio, man, is just wanted to be able to tell you that how grateful we are to have you here at Converge.
Absolutely, Jake. I just got to echo those words from Omari because you already know we have a special bond. Jake is so dope at what he does. And I got to say, Jules said it, you know, just like last week or whatever. Jules said, you know, Jake is the photographer. He gets out there. He knows exactly what he's looking for. Click, 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 click. He's done. Like, he's done. And Jake, you're amazing. Thank you so much for your dedication to Converge.
Grateful for you, big fella. We're going to take a break right now. When I come back, talking to Doc Wilson of Peace Peloton. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on rap-ish. I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list. Hope I ain't missing my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
Hey, it's Jake from Converge Media and Get the F Outside. I hope that all of you are taking advantage of the ability to be outdoors and enjoy nature as our summer months heat up. One other thing that you can take advantage of here in the King County area are free COVID-19 vaccinations. There's all kinds of options for pop-up clinics, and the vaccine is able to be administered to anyone 12 years and older. And did I mention that it's free? You don't need insurance, and they don't care what your citizenship status is. And that kind of sounds like the way things should be anyhow, but we'll save that for another conversation. Information and resources are available at kingcounty.gov/COVID, or you can call the COVID-19 call center at 206-477-3977. Washington, we are almost out of this, but we got to stay locked in for the home stretch. Let's get vaxxed out so we can max out our time with friends, family, and in the great outdoors.
Welcome back to the Morning Update Show. I'm your co-host, Omari Salisbury. And right there, you saw the ad. You can go to whereweconverge.com/shop. Great way to support us over here at Converge Media. And we have our Pride shirts, a limited edition that's out right now in black, white, and pink. So you go ahead and pick those up. All of our other stuff. And the No Excuses gear is there. All the locally printed No Excuses gear, too. So anything you're looking for, great way to support us here at Converge Media, whereweconverge.com/shop. Want to welcome to the Morning Update Show now, Doc Wilson, Peace Peloton. How are you?
Doing real good. Thank you for having me, brother.
All right, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
Did you ride your bike here?
I didn't ride my bike, man. I didn't ride my bike.
It's like every time I see you, you're a biker.
Yeah,
So
I get it in.
Everything's on the bike. So before we get into it, why don't you tell people what Peace Peloton's all about?
Peace Peloton is an economic development organization, and we support Black businesses and communities through 3 of our programs. Our most notable program is Fresh Air, which bookends a bike ride between 2 Black businesses where we invite people to engage in commerce. Our second program is an equity and inclusion program where we support businesses and other larger organizations augment their talent acquisition and diversity and inclusion programs and initiatives. And our overarching program is our Business Catalyst program. That program exists to spark the creation of new Black businesses and to elevate those existing viable businesses.
Man, you guys got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen one of your events where you're talking about commerce, so I'm going to just break it down on a whole nother level. You and your crew on the bikes, it's a big crew of you, sometimes up to 300 people on a bike. You go and you visit a Black business, and of course, everybody who's there in the group that's biking, they buy a lot of stuff. They leave a lot of money there at that Black business, and then you go to another Black business, and they'll pop up and you sell it. You guys are buying a lot of stuff, so people like to see your crew coming because they know they're like Peace Peloton is coming to basically do business with Black business owners.
Yeah, that's right. I think what's What's more important to us is to make sure that we capture a percentage, like 30% of that 300 crowd, right? We can't reasonably bring 300 people to a restaurant every weekend. So if we can capture about 30% of that for repeat, scalable businesses, that's one of the things that we're going for.
All right, we caught up with you last year in December, just right up the street on Yesler Street at To Go Coffee. We'll play that clip now.
My name is Doc Wilson. I'm the Executive Director of Peace Peloton.
Okay, Doc, can you tell us what's going on up here today?
So we decided to invite some of our cycling friends and develop this community around a black-owned business, To Go Coffee, owned by Brian Wells, and also invite makers and creators to sell their wares and present their crafts to individuals who wouldn't otherwise know about their business. So that's what we're doing.
Right, so this is raising awareness around, small local businesses that come over here, they can pop up, drive some traffic.
Yeah, our mission is economic reform for black people.
How's it working out for you so far?
It's working real good, man. Yesterday we were in Columbia City. A couple of our vendors said they sold out of all their products. That's what we want. We want to bring awareness. We want to pump some business into our communities, and we want to have fun doing it. So people are here having fun. People are making money. It's the holidays. We're doing our thing.
And now how can people catch up with you? Like people who didn't make it out here today, how can they learn more about the next event?
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at Peace Peloton. You can check out our website, peacepeloton.com.
All right, so that was in December of last year up there on Yesler, man. How has Peace Peloton evolved since then?
We've gone national. We're looking to have a fresh air event in out-of-state location every month. We were in Chicago back in May. We were in DC in April. We've got New Orleans slated. We're working on Minneapolis, the Bay Area. As far as our markets are concerned, we've moved that market from Yesler Terrace down to Occidental Square. So it's every third Wednesday. It's blowing up, man. In a year, we're celebrating a year, and we've raised in a year $125,000. We've supported businesses in 17 cities. We're making a difference, man, and it feels good.
Right, and I just thought about something here before we talk about your event tomorrow. What was your catalyst to say, like, you know what, we're going to do this, we want to get out here and make it happen?
Yeah, right after, there was a lot of motivation after the murder of George Floyd, right? So Peace Peloton started a couple weeks after that. And what we wanted to do is something more than what was performative, right? And I'm not knocking protests and demonstrations, but those things go away, right? They don't have any staying power. We wanted to do something that is going to advance social change. And I thought, if I'm going to do it, if I'm going to lead it, I'm going to do it doing things that I enjoy. Riding a bicycle is what I enjoy more than pretty much anything outdoors. And so some friends and I came together and we wove the bicycle into this economic development program. And it keeps going, man. People love being on a bike. Bikes are they're disarming. When you see a bunch of people riding down the street, you don't get scared and run away. You're like, where are you guys going? And I want to join you. So we wanted to add that element of fun that I think was missing from other economic development programs like Peace Peloton. It was just missing out on fun, man. If people don't have fun doing things, they're not going to come back.
All right, good stuff. We're going to go ahead and put this overlay up here on the screen, and you can tell us about the event that's occurring tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're going to be celebrating our 1-year anniversary. We're going to combine our Fresh Air program with our Makers Market. So we're going to start in partnership with the Northwest African American Museum in their Juneteenth celebration. We're going to stage for 2 hours. We're going to have speakers. We're going to have a 17-mile ride. I don't know if you all remember Michael Powers, jazz guitarist from back in the day. He's going to perform. We've got Dr. John Vassell, who's going to speak about the linkages between a healthy body and healthy finances. Elmer Dixon is going to meet us at the People's Wall in the middle of our ride and speak about his journey as the founder of the Seattle chapter of the Black Panther Party. And then we're going to end at our Makers Market. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to light it up. It's just going to be fun. we're going to continue to inject that fun piece into this program and just take it as far as we can go.
Yeah, I think that, around where people are passionate about, that's the best places where people can sustainably continue to make change. Some people are passionate about writing letters. Some people are passionate about public comment. Some people are passionate about being in the streets. Some people are passionate about biking. And when people can take their passion and focus it on social change, it's impactful.
Yeah, I agree. I hear people tell me, even coming up as a young man, people would say things, do what you're passionate about and do what you love, the money will follow. If you do what you love, you'll never work again. This is work. This is work bringing this together. So, I mean, if that's what they want to believe, that's what they want to believe. But I wake up at 3 in the morning, I go to bed at midnight, I'm knocking on doors. I've equipped myself with this defense mechanism for no, because a lot of people are going to tell you no when you ask for stuff, right? But that select few, the ones that you really want, they're going to say yes. And that's how we've grown our program, and that's how we were able to raise over $100,000 in a year. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing, man. This is just this feels good, but it's work.
All right. Well, look, we won't keep you too much longer. That's camera number 3 right there. Once you look in that camera, you can tell people once again about tomorrow's event and how they can follow you at Peace Peloton.
Yeah. Again, thank you all for giving me audience. You can follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Peace Peloton. Our website is peacepeloton.com. And the ways that you can support, the number one way you can support our aims and our mission is to go out and support other Black businesses. If you're in a position where you have questions like, how can I bring this energy into my workplace? How can I advance these aims in my community? How can I spark the creation of Black business? Then you can come to Peace Peloton and you can donate to our cause, and we will put your dollars to work. We're very transparent about what we do. My salary is on the website. All our financials are going up within a month or so we want everyone to know where your money is going. But most importantly, just support Black business and help us spark the creation of new Black businesses.
All right, you heard it right there. Support Black business. And, that's a simple but powerful message. Doc Wilson, Peace Peloton, thank you for joining us this morning.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate y'all, Converge.
All right, we're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we have Katoya Palmer from the East Madison YMCA joining us right here on the Morning Update Show.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap-ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own, tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
Hey, it's Jake from Converge Media and Get the F Outside. I hope that all of you are taking advantage of the ability to be outdoors and enjoy nature as our summer months heat up. One other thing that you can take advantage of here in the King County area are free COVID-19 vaccinations. There's all kinds of options for pop-up clinics, and the vaccine is able to be administered to anyone 12 years and older. And did I mention that it's free? You don't need insurance, and they don't care what your citizenship status is. And that kind of sounds like the way things should be anyhow, but we'll save that for another conversation. Information and resources are available at kingcounty.gov/COVID, or you can call the COVID-19 call center at 206-477-3977. Washington, we are almost out of this, but we got to stay locked in for the home stretch. Let's get vaxxed out so we can max out our time with friends, family, and in the great outdoors.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I'm your co-host, Trey Holiday, and joining me in the studio is my girl, Miss Katoya Palmer from the East Madison Meredith Matthews YMCA. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, girl. Hey, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I got to say, I saw you before when COVID was hit. You were still so busy, and now you're back at the Y. How is it for you?
Woo, it's been a transition. You know, wearing many hats in the community. I think having the last year off was really great and impeccable for me to take a step back and visit some of the goals that I have. And now I am back at the Y with some renewed energy and just a new mission to kind of make change where I've been given the blessing to have power.
You know what? That's a beautiful way to put it, where you've been given the blessing to have power. Because I think that a lot of times young folks especially may see corporate or, you know, some of these like long-standing institutions as, you know, how do I make my change there? How do I get in there and do something?
Right.
But you've been doing it. And so thank you for that. You guys have a couple of different programs coming up, and I want you to be able to talk about them. Let's start with the hockey program.
Yeah, so right before COVID happened, the YMCA of Greater Seattle partnered with the Kraken to do some outreach to get more outreach and awareness about hockey into our communities, particularly into our communities of color, and particularly for our Black children, where we know that hockey is just one of those sports that we don't see often played in our communities. I was a water polo player, so feeling similarly. How does it feel to be exposed for a sport that you've never played for the first time? The Y is being intentional about getting into the places that we need to be the most in partnership with the Kraken. We started the partnership at the Matt Griffin Ys, and now we are moving into hosting several camps throughout the county so that we can include as much of community as possible in this new trend that we're gonna have of having hockey back in our communities in Seattle.
Wow, you know what? It's so great to hear this, because I think, you know, a lot of folks are like, what, hockey?
Right.
You know, and how do we get people to be seeing themselves as a part of that now? You know, it's really a new bred institution for us, and so I'm glad that the Y is kind of taking that up and bringing it in, you know, permeating our communities with it.
Yep.
So I know we had a graphic up there. We could put it back up, Curtis, so folks can understand how they're going to get in touch with this program. Let them know.
So getting in touch with this program, I would just tell you guys to call your local Y. We have, my vision's not as good as it used to be, I can't read it from here, but we have 5 different YMCAs hosting 5 different camps this summer. So I know that the Bellevue Y is one. I know that I believe our Matt Griffin Y is one again. So getting online first. I will post the flyer on our Meredith Matthews website, and hopefully we'll get it posted throughout our association's social media as well, so that you guys can have easy access. But also, I'll be tabling with some of the other awesome leaders at the Y at Juneteenth festivals this weekend, sharing out.
Wow, and there's a lot going on this weekend.
So much.
So you'll be really busy, I'm sure. And not only this hockey program, but the Y is staying connected to COVID vaccinations.
Correct.
Is this correct? What's going on there?
Yeah, so our Center of Excellence for Health Equity has partnered with the Urban League for the next 2 days. Tonight, we will be hosting a vaccination forum for youth and families with some very amazing medical professionals, including our very favorite Dr. Ben, and some of our YMCA of Greater Seattle board members who are also very awesome Black women in sharing and learning around COVID-19. We will host that forum tonight at 6. They're in partner with the Urban League, and then this weekend you will be able to get vaccinated, not only at the Jimi Hendrix Park, but also at the Black Fathers March in Tukwila.
Yeah, that, you know, I was just talking to some reps from the Tubman Center for Health and Freedom.
Yeah.
I know that she said, look, out there at Jimi Hendrix Park, we're going to have a whole lounge. Yeah, they got little couches, and she said we're going to have rugs and plants. So really the ideas of, you know, elevating the experience for folks, there's a lot of hesitancy out there, and I think that trying to address that in a really peculiar way, that's like, no, we're going to be direct about this. We want you to feel comfortable. You know, if you need to listen to a little music, if you need to vibe out after, or you need to talk to somebody before. So how has that been in terms of, you know, at first we saw just tents, people getting, you know, plucked, and then that's it. but what was you guys' thought about really elevating this experience?
So elevating this experience looks a few different ways. I think first creating the awareness tonight. So we have an event where we want to bring in families and bring in professionals to talk about the youth in particular. I'm a mother of a teenager who's been hesitant to get her teenager vaccinated. So I speak from a place of truth, of lived experience with this, where I went to get a vaccine because I'm out in community a lot. My son was born high risk, and I just did not know if I was ready yet. So for me, being able to see some intentionality about my community that I serve from the organization that I serve and work at is a reason that I can share that I hope that can encourage others and share, where we're bringing in awareness to the issue. If you so choose, and if your family wants to get vaccinated, we need to be having these critical conversations so that people can feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I think we know that there's so many different ideals out there and reasons why people are super comfortable and reasons why people aren't.
Correct.
And I think having those discussions is really key to again, making sure everybody is making an educated and informed decision with this.
Correct.
Absolutely.
That we can be a part of it.
Yeah, Katoya, I'm so glad that you can share all of this right here. Before I let you go, you got to let folks know how they can get in touch with, YMCA, how they can get in touch with you. How do they do that?
Getting in touch with me, I wear several hats. Katoya318. You guys have seen me here on Converge before on social media platforms. At the YMCA, we're at YMCA. On Instagram or Meredith Matthews. You can find us this weekend at the Juneteenth Festival at Jimi Hendrix Parks, where I'll be giving away free life jackets. We'll be doing a lot of outreach for some of our free swim lesson programs, Kraken Camp, and just really fellowshipping, and for me, bringing a population of people who aren't used to being with us along to the journey.
Absolutely, man. I just got to thank you for all the hats you wear in community. I know Miss Amijah Smith has the term community queen, and I see it everywhere. When we wear all of these multiple hats, I consider you a community queen. Thank you so much for joining us today. Absolutely. Well, you guys heard it right here from Miss Katoya Palmer herself. Plenty of opportunity to get involved with the Meredith Matthews YMCA and all of the amazing programs they have coming up. As we take a quick break, I'll be bringing my guy, Big O, back onto the set, and we're going to dive into some of these awesome Juneteenth events that are taking shape starting tonight. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
Public Health, Seattle, King County, Zero Youth Detention, along with our partners from across the South King County region, are committed to reducing violence and creating the conditions needed for our neighborhoods to be safe and free of crime. Too often, the response to crime and violence has been a piecemeal approach with a program here and a program there. When family units collapse, schools fail to educate, the economy fails to produce jobs, and crime rises, we've looked to law enforcement and punitive measures to save us. Nothing could be more wrong or further from the truth. Law enforcement can't shoulder all the burden or take the rest of us off the hook. We are acknowledging the lived experiences of Black, Brown, and Indigenous communities. We are centering community as the experts who can effectively identify key issues related to systems, policies, and practices that impact children, families, and communities of color across this region. Those most impacted by the issues will help call out and identify the root causes, including structural and systemic factors. 150 residents will partner with King County to develop strategies, solutions, and an action plan that explicitly addresses system changes needed and eliminates barriers to access for Black, Brown, and Indigenous folks. These residents will also identify the criteria used to measure our collective success. Simply put, we need your help as we do the work needed to make King County the safest in this country. It will take specific commitments from all of us, community members, our young people, elders, and leaders from the sectors all across this region. Together, we will get this work done. Please click the link below and sign up for a work group. Or you can recommend a co-facilitator from community for each work group. We look forward to hearing your ideas, concerns, feedback, and solutions as we build a community where all our children can be happy, healthy, hopeful, safe, and thriving.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I'm your co-host, Trey Holiday. And woo, we had a great show for you today. Gonna continue on, bringing my guy Big O back on the set. What up, Big O?
Yeah, lots of information, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and the best thing is especially going into Juneteenth weekend here, that there's so many different ways to celebrate people coming together, whether you want to be one of these official holiday people or you just want to be like, hey, this is just a day to come together and do stuff. So it's pretty cool. I know you got a bunch of things lined up over there that you want to inform the public with. I know we're getting out of here a few minutes early, so I'll just talk about our programming notes here real quick. Is that I want to remind everybody that Sunday at 7 p.m., it's another episode of GTF Outside. Get the fellowship outside. Jake Gravbrot. Where are you at this week, Jake? This episode? Denali.
No, Grand Teton.
Grand Teton. Okay, that's right. Checked in from the Grand Tetons, and yeah, it's a pretty dope show. One of our fastest growing shows right here. So that's at 7 p.m. on Sunday. And then we've got our jingle. Can we get that in there, Chats with Trey?
Chats with Trey. Chats with Trey. Chats with Trey.
That's with Trey. Trey, who you got on the show today at 2 o'clock?
Yeah, today is J.D. Davis of Rodney the Raccoon. Rodney Raccoon, man, be out there, you know, entertaining and educating the kids. So excited to dive in deep and learn a little bit more about the history of how he started and how it went from local to global, man.
Yeah, now that Rodney Raccoon brand is blowing up. People might not even realize, like, it's really like a global brand right now. All right, so a lot of stuff going on Juneteenth. I see you got lots of notes over there. We'll let you dive into it.
I got my list here, and, you know, I just got to say, forgive me if I'm missing something. A lot of stuff has flooded my inbox, but I want to be sure that we try to give some real time to elevate these amazing organizers and folks who have put together these events. So starting up, we have today the Neighborhood South End Connect Black Business Meetup. It is at Cafe Red from 5 to 7. You can find them lining the streets and, you know, come down there and get some wares from amazing Black vendors. You can find more info on this event on Facebook at South End Connected and on Instagram at South End Connects Seattle. So please learn a little bit. Start today. You know what I'm saying? All weekend there's going to be events. Tomorrow morning, Haru Hills and Niles Edge presents Qigong and meditation in the park. They're going to be at MLK Park starting early at 9 a.m. doing some Qigong to get your energies right, your Qi right, your life force, internals all right before you get out there into some of those great events. And right after Qigong, they're going to be doing a walking meditation. So everybody that comes to that is encouraged to please wear all whites. They love to say virgin whites, right? So whites that you don't wear for anything else, or if you want to go out and grab a white dress, white pants and shirt, you know, feel free to do that. And get your bodies right before you start on some of these other events. And then at 2 p.m., MoHi is going to be doing their 1619 Resistance, Resilience, Remembrance. Amazing opportunity and storytelling for you to learn a little bit more about the history of 1619. Also at MoHi, they're actually starting it today, where they're going to have their installation of their exhibit, The Unspoken Truths. The museum is actually going to be open from 10 to 5. Today through the 21st is when you can find that exhibit. They are doing limited numbers, so they're keeping it very safe for all of you out there in with COVID concerns. So yeah, you guys can learn more there and register at mohi.org. Urban Impact Impact. Next up, Urban Impact is doing an event with the Collective Seattle, Building Black Wealth Experience. And that will be from 3 to 6 p.m. And they'll actually be right there at the Collective in South Lake Union. Dre's, our buddy Dre's, is going to be performing there. And you can find your tickets to that event. They're only $10. You can find your tickets at buildingblackwealth.tv. So, get out there. You're going to learn a lot about amazing Black businesses. We know Dre's here has been doing Building Black Wealth TV, really showcasing and highlighting some amazing Black vendors that we have locally and globally. So please get your tickets at buildingblackwealth.tv for that. And then also, you guys, we are starting, King County Equity Now, Africatown, a whole host of organizations is presenting Juneteenth, the Freedom March and Rally once again. We did it last year, almost 40,000 people, maybe over 40,000. It's hard to count, but excited to bring that back this year, and starting the march at 1 p.m. on 22nd and Madison, right in front of Miss D. Charlene Williams Beauty Salon and the Chamber of Commerce on 22nd and Madison. Again, paying homage to Miss D. Charlene, who brought Juneteenth here to Seattle as the first person to do so, and we want to continue to honor that legacy. So grateful for that. Starting the march, and we're going to continue going south on 23rd. We are encouraging you guys to line the streets, real parade style. We have drill teams, we have Corvettes, we have an elder caravan, Black graduates. It is set to be a phenomenal march as we end at Jimi Hendrix Park, and so excited to do that, where we'll have amazing performances by some of our local artists. We're going to have some DJs. Some have flown in from LA. We got Afro Beats flair. So the park will actually open at 2 o'clock, starting with some DJ sets. So if you're like, look, I just want to enjoy some of the park, maybe not the march, you have that opportunity to do so as well. And, big shout out. We're bringing Gifted Gab back to the Central District. Gifted Gab is a great artist that was raised here in the CD, went to school with my brother, shout out Meany Middle School, and she's coming back. She's done some amazing work, is out there in LA doing great work, and now she's like, look, I'm coming back to the town to bring you guys a great show. And also we have 7 Streeter, nationally known, globally known recording artist that resides out in LA as well. Excited to bring 7 Streeter out there. So we have some amazing headliners. I got to also send a shout out to my crew, Black Stacks, man. They're going to be hitting the stage amongst so many other amazing artists. Afua Drum Circle, we have Cutting Up, so many great dance groups and speakers and performers for you guys to be entertained as well as educated right there at Jimi Hendrix Park. And so they're also doing a Black business panel, it's a lot. A Black business panel on Sunday, the 20th, right there at the park as well. So it's a 2-day affair for Juneteenth, coming from King County Equity Now and Africatown. And shout out to so many other groups. I just got to say, because, Black Action Coalition has been there with us. So appreciate you guys. So many other amazing groups. So thanks to everybody who's been pulling that effort together, and all the amazing volunteers. So many people behind the scenes, y'all. Lastly, I want to give a shout out to Black Mass Studios, also happening on the 20th at Nurturing Roots from 11 to 9. And this is a celebration cookout called the Family Affair. They want you to bring your meats, bring your veggies. They're going to be having a free dance class, African dance class. They're going to be having healing circles and DJs. So you guys have plenty of opportunity to get out there and check out all of these amazing events. I do want to say Black Mass Studios that, they are doing something very specific to the Black community and to the indigenous community. So you guys got plenty of opportunities. There's so many I'm probably missing, because there's over like 40 different events happening all throughout. And there's stuff happening in Tacoma too. So there's a lot going on this weekend, my friend.
Yeah, I got to get out of here, so I'll just throw out a few things real quick. Is at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, a historic day on 23rd in Jackson, as Jackson's Catfish Corner. They do the ribbon cutting right there. We welcome another Black-owned business back to the heart of the Central District, Jackson's Catfish Corner. We talked about yesterday, Black Fathers Matter out there. Choose 180. get the specific details, go into Choose 180's website. But Black Fathers Matter, that's in Tukwila Station tomorrow. And then over at Judkins Park, Northwest African American Museum also has programming over there at Judkins Park as well. So the Central District is loaded with events. Time to get out of here. I don't even say last words. I guess we're just we've said so many words.
So many words.
Man, everybody want to wish you a happy and safe Juneteenth. Make sure and get out there and get into community, you know what I'm saying? And I liked what Doc said, support black business and let's support black culture.
Absolutely. And, you know, my friends reminded me today to be safe out there, man. You know, please, you know, there's a lot going on, a lot of energy. We want to make sure that everybody really enjoys this weekend in a safe way. So I'll just end there saying stay safe, y'all.
All right, until Monday at 11 a.m., go forward in your purpose, go forward in your humanity, and peace.
Peace.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun.